you that don't know me, I'm Ashok Kumar, and I chair the Wireless Technology Forum programs for this year, but I get a lot of help. For instance, this one, Merrill Oaks, who was a past president last year, was the event coordinator. So I'd like to have Merrill come up here, and please join me in thanking Roger for the moderator of the panel, and Karen and Lee and Ian for all their perceptive comments, which I got a lot of notes. Now, let me put something up here. These are 2 reasons why you don't want to leave the room. And your odds went up because you can see all the empty chairs. We'll get to the drawings. But I do want to cover a few things. I want to summarize that Roger did a great job with talking about Sky-Fi, and Karen talked about connected cars, and I mentioned a little bit about what's coming up. And Lee, you talked about social media. There's a lot of discussion about privacy. And thanks for bringing out what our rest of our programs are for us to this year, because and Karen, you mentioned about Glenn Lurie. He'll be here in April. And privacy, we have a session in May. And June, we have something about connected cars. I'm going to go through some of the other programs in here too. But one thing that Ian, you mentioned about is about hotel room keys with cell phones. You may or may not be aware of this. A peer of mine is here, Bill Johnson from Intercontinental Hotels Group. And Bill, perhaps the question is, when could you be up here? Talk about how the guests of the Holiday Inns are using their phones.
We'll see.
So, if you missed any of our sessions, it's available online. And Caroline Dunn has been taking videos of these, so you're welcome to see them. And now, the next is on March 21st. That's our session, What's Up with Cloud and Mobility. And we got Walt Supernov, who works with a lot of enterprises on various contracts with IBM, ShoreTel, and Verizon Terramark, the cloud services. And John Stepp, who's in the back of the room, he is the event coordinator for that. So I get a lot of help through the year. And mentioned to you how after that, in April, we got Glenn Lurie keynoting, and we got a slew of a top-notch panel, and that's being coordinated by Bob and Andre, whom I'd seen earlier this evening. And May session is going to be on privacy. So if you're concerned about privacy and the security, and we'll certainly try to see if we can get a security software company that is well-funded up here, something like that. Okay, we'll try. Now, do want to thank the annual sponsors, AT&T, Microsoft Windows Phone, Intel, Stone, Resource, IBM, and Verizon. And there's plenty of sponsorship opportunities as well. Now, we're going to have the drawing, but here's something I noticed about it. Okay, these boxes look pretty much the same, and it looks like they're agnostic to what the operating system is or the makers. Okay, but anyway, I do want to bring up Tim Hernquist. Is Tim here? Tim, please draw. And thanks to Tim Hernquist, Ian, and Steve Baker from Sony for participating here. And now, we may need to go through this because you've got to be present to win. Oh, hang on. Before you read that number, is that the same as 785?
I'm sorry. Good try. So the winning number, at least the first one, check your ticket for 566860.
I just mentioned to you folks, your odds just went up. So just stay in here. We got 2 of them.
566860.
And as far as my number showing up, as far as my number showing up, I may get the phone by a minute and be able to get out of the room.
566793. All right.
Well, I'm going to call Michael up here, Greg Harrell and Michael from Samsung have been very supportive of our event here. So as Michael is coming up here, I also want to thank the folks from Microsoft. Rob Wilson was very instrumental, and Greg Weaver, and the whole team, I guess, starting with Merrill. So thank you. And
all right, here we go. 566811. There we go.
Now, there's something I should have announced about this. The first one was an Android phone, and the second one was a Windows phone. So that pretty much shakes up the operating systems here that are on display. Folks, thank you very much for coming. We do like to hear from you. We've already heard about all the hot topics that we are trying to cover, but please fill out the surveys, and we do recycle badges. Thank you very much. Good night.